dickheads out there in the world. Hold up, wrong. Fuck up, you know, both I forgot about the weird bitch. Mark went to go into the woman right now. Second, they had an 18-woman building. So she was bringing niggas home from down from that.
But this is all the good stuff. Where the cargo trailers stop doing that boat. And waiting out there. There's lots of cargo out there. They're trying to hit the first America. Rome didn't have dominance global. That's in the same story. America dominated so much, you had to go to America to be able to do business. How do we do that? We dominate. America had hegemony with the New York dollar. We dominate. And if you want to talk crap about it, you need some freedom. America's gonna send some freedom your way. Jeremiah gonna send some freedom. Jeremiah, yeah. Sure, yeah, but you need some freedom. Yeah, you gonna hear shit like, their country is oppressing people, right? They're not letting freedom of their people. We gotta liberate them. The next thing you know, women are harlots and you were the most poor you ever been. Look what they did to Gaddafi. That shit is completely destroyed.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as he were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
I'm talking about Rome. The Rome fell. But the deadly wound of Rome was revived in the capital, which is America. America conducts itself the way the Romans did. When in Rome, do as the Romans, the same freak-offs that happened in America was happening in Rome. The same Congress meetings that happened in Rome, they had a Senate house. You see that in America? We got 3 branches of government. The same way they had in Rome is here. So the same way that Rome ruled is the same way America ruled. That's his deadly wound being healed. Rome fell as a nation, but it came back in the form of America.
12. Because this right here works out all of it. I just still
All the world wondered after the peace. Same way they had Rome in admiration. People wanted to go to Rome. People were inspired to be Roman citizens. Alright, did you know that? Because when Paul did his ministry, it was a badge of honor to be a Roman citizen. To the point where he put indictments on charges because he was a Roman citizen.
It's like I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because what's the problem? Somebody type of civis momentous. Somebody could take home type of civis momentous song. C-I-V-I-S-R-O-M-A-N-U-S. Here you go. It's like Acts 22nd chapter. It says the Lord is called the man is going to them. Acts 22nd chapter. Around about verse 22. The man said that the apostle, they had prayed the apostle Paul of the Gentiles to the temple. They had got book of Acts chapter 22, verse 22. When they gave him audience unto this word, and then lifted up their voices and said, away with such a fellow from the earth, for it is not fit that he should live. And as they cried out to cast off their clothes, they threw dust into the air. And the chief captain commanded him to be brought into the castle, and made that he should be examined by scourging, that he might know wherefore. Examined by scourging, by blood, and that he might No, wherefore they cried so against him. And as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned?
They say, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned? Civis Romanus, as a Latin phrase meaning I am a Roman citizen. Civis Romanus, I am a Roman citizen. In ancient Rome, there was a declaration of Roman citizenship which granted certain rights and protections. In modern times, it can refer to a historical concept or be used in a metaphorical way. Historical context. In ancient Rome, citizenship was a vital status with significant legal and social implications. Declaring civis Romanus sum the petition offered protection from certain forms of his kingdom.
See that?
Yep. It said the petition offered protection from certain forms of mistreatment or summary recovery, especially when traveling or residing outside of Rome.
You know what? That's what Roman citizens are trying to do. The Romans do this.
Figurative usage. It says Roman civilization. It says the concept of civis Romanus is linked to a broader concept of Roman civilization, which included not only legal structures and citizenship, but also virtue values, architectural achievements, and a powerful military.
So, the military is a Roman citizen as Roman then. Eventually, the Romans have to civis Romanus. I am a Roman citizen. When he's a Roman citizen, he's allowed citizen rights and protection. He can expose them to them. Protecting them from
Figurative usage. Lord Palmerston, and it speaks to the House of Commons in 1850, used the phrase to argue for the right of British subjects to be protected by the government while drawing a parallel with the historical protection of foreign citizens.
There you go. So it's proven Roman citizens cannot be crucified. And I got the AI overview. Yes, that's correct. Roman citizens were generally exempt from crucifixion. It was a punishment reserved for slaves, criminals, and those considered candidates for escape. Particularly rebels and insurgents, crucifixion was seen as a deeply shameful and brutal form of execution, and Roman law provided protection against such execution.
This is civis Romanus capital punishment. ARO. In ancient Rome, capital punishment was a severe form of punishment used for a wide range of crimes, including murder, treason, and adultery. The Romans employed various methods of execution, often tailored to their individual social status and the nature of the crime.
You see, the social status and the nature of the crime.
Says, crucifixion, burning, beheading, and being thrown to wild beasts were among
Book of Acts 22, verse 26. When the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, indeed, without doest, for this man is a Roman. Then the chief captain came and said unto him, tell me, art thou a Roman? He said, yea. And the chief captain said, tell me, do you know? Paul said, yeah. And the chief captain answered, with a great sum obtained by his freedom. The chief captain said, with a great sum and obtained his freedom.
Let the civis Romanus some purchase of Roman citizens. ARO. In ancient Roman citizenship or civitas Romana was primarily acquired at birth and granted by a state, not by birth. While birth to citizen parents was the most common path, citizenship had also been granted to individuals who perform public service, particularly in the military, or to the entire community. Wait a minute. It says, later in Roman history, Emperor Caracalla extended citizenship to nearly all people within the empire. How citizenship was acquired? By birth. If both parents were Roman citizens, the child was born a citizen. It says public service. Serving in the Roman army, especially in the auxiliary forces, was leading to citizenship upon completion of service. By grant. Roll over again. The Roman state could grant citizenship to individuals or communities. The legal mechanism. The Lex Donda granted citizenship. It's spelled by University. Granted Roman citizenship nearly all free men. The privileges of Roman citizenship. Legal protections. Citizens were protected from torture and certain forms of punishment. Political rights. Citizens had the right to vote and vote elections. Economic benefits. Citizens can engage in legal conflicts and hold property. Social standing. Citizens had the right of one social status. Everybody wants to say, I got my green card or I'm legalized to be here. Because what happens when you're legalized to be an American citizen? You can own property, you can start businesses, you can work in America, you go abroad as an American citizen, you can hold you to the island guard. I'm from the island. You tell them you're from America, they look at you like a god. But that's how they looked at Roman citizens back in the day. That's why we say this is Roman Republic. So it says women do not carry around personal identification and use names like driver's license. They did have various ways to identify themselves depending on the context. It says here's how identification in society. It says citizenship and legal identity. Roman citizens were registered in official records called census, concluded every 5 years. The census documents citizens' name, family, property, rank, and sometimes tribe. In legal or official matter, Romans might identify themselves by their full name. Every now and then you get the person knocking on the door. You actually knocking on the door. In the household.
Book of Acts 22, verse 28. The chief captain answered, with the great sum obtained by his freedom. And Paul said, but I was freeborn. People with the great sum obtained his freedom. We're going to history. Some people actually did by also the gladiatorial units. After a certain time, they can also become free. Yeah, I've heard about that.
When you ain't legalized, you gotta memorize the pledge. You gotta know by heart.
There you go. Man.
Acts chapter 22, verse 29. Then straightway they departed from him. We should have examined him. And the chief captain answered, with a great sum obtained by his freedom. And Paul said, and I was freeborn.
He said, yeah, but I was freeborn. Guess what? I was born on the field. How about that?
Then straightway they departed from him. We should have examined him. And the chief captain also was afraid after he knew that he was Roman because he had bound him. On the
He
morrow,
was scared as hell. Like, yo, man, hey, man.
on the morrow, because he would have known the certainty, wherefore he was accused of this. So people are stupid. That's not how Paul was made for his job. He's like, I'm a stupid. There's a joke right there. That would be the end of the whole news.
Heavy because they mistook Paul as an Ethiopian. They went down in Ethiopia and had a Roman citizen. But you had Israelites that lived in Rome. That was that looked like
They compared him to an Ethiopian.
Compared to Ethiopian during time past when they were rebelling against Ethiopia.
That's what they compared him to. He ain't look like Gilly the Kid.
That's pretty much the point, man. This is being revised globally. Yes. That was the whole thing. We described how America had a lot of similarities to each other. And very well today, everybody lives in the United States citizen. Because it just comes with a lot of books. See, in other countries, you don't retire and collect Social Security. That's something of America. In other countries, you don't have a lot, but you don't collect money when you retire. It's free work till you die. But when you're a United States citizen, you can move to another country and get SS access. This is the privileges that come with the Empire of America, which they knew during the time of Rome there was privileges.
Book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 3.
Why do you think this whole ICE situation is happening?
You know what I'm gonna do with me? I'm like, yo, ice. Like I'm asking for ice. I was thinking about like a fucking Mexican pump up in man. I was thinking like this is the damn store. Yo, ice, ice. No ice, like bag ice.
The sad thing about it, we are family. But you don't want to, you give us more time than Yusuf. His family, his enterprise. Even, amongst us, we've been going at it since back to the time of the Kings. We got down with the person that they, us learning this thing, the thing about it, we can see why we're in this situation. Because we disobey Yahweh Shem Shah.
Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him.
So, as Rome had dominance, America also. That's why they constantly in UN meetings pleading with America to stop the genocide, stop Israel from doing what it's doing. They're pleading with America to stop this from going on. So it's showing you that America is the head honcho. They are the ones that are in charge of data, the little horn. the whore that sitteth upon the peace. You know, Revelation 3:2. Because at the end of the day, and he also said, say they should hate the whore. Because America's going to drag all these nations into this global conflict to officially be destroyed. With America and Israel.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her.
Right, to live deliciously with America. Because they would trade they would send things to America and use the American currency to build their business. We lived deliciously year business. You got something on the stock market, which is international trade. Any business you want to do, you can go to the stock market. There's the stock market in New York City, downtown Boston. Right? So these countries became rich off the especially the Americans.
She shall bewail her and lament for her. When
lament and wail for her,
Dad. Dad.
when they shall
Spirit.
see the smoke of her burning.
Israel, Iran conflict will lead to
Stand in the foremost. The fear of her. Stand in the foremost. The fear of her torment, saying, Alas, the great city Babylon, the mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
1 hour, they said it will take 30 minutes or 15 to 30 minutes for supersonic missile shot from Russia. So America's going to go away from the hour for the complete devastation. That's going to happen within 15 to 30 minutes. But the complete devastation happens in 1 hour. Right? So if I was you and you listen, I wouldn't build a bunker. Nowhere near it. But yeah, it's better to die here than be a slave. I'd rather die than be a slave. Matter of fact, why you building bunkers? Live your life. We've been saying that years ago, but then that's not the credit card. Get high. You do whatever you desire, nigga. Once it's over, it's over. You don't want to be in a bunker and listening to it.
Stand afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, that great city Babylon, the mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. For no man buys their merchandise anymore.
America was known for consumerism. You look at the label of allergy, water, all different types of things. So it goes into that. Which tells you a lot of the things that we tell America is exported. Hell, who the hell wants to drive an American car? American vehicle. Nobody drives around in Ford. Let's be real. Who the hell is driving a damn Ford? Alright? What else is an American car? We don't even know American car. Chrysler, Cadillac, Tesla. Tesla is bullshit compared to the Chinese version. What else is American made that's fine? You can't even name it. Look. Now let's play some Ford. Let's play some Ford. Toyota, they've been 80% of the car market is from another country. Where you get your wine from? Nobody's drinking California wine. Everybody gets their wine from France. Where they get champagne? Champagne's not made in America. Champagne was made in a place called Champagne. That's outside of America. The oil, the clothes, the food, avocados. LA's been doing its job. Mexico supplies America for avocados. So all these nations get export their merchandise to America and in turn enrich their economy. So again, while we're the greatest empire to ever come to fruition, not being able to have America, Revelation in the 8th century.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her.
Yeah, because nobody imports goods over her.
For no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
And that's what Trump is trying to upset concept about bringing back jobs to abroad. Listen, first off, America's a lady. America's not about to work 60 hours a week for $10 an hour. You can hire a guy in Gandhi, India, fucking Bangladesh, pay him damn $25,000 a year to do customer service. That same job, you can bring customer service out to America, you got to pay at minimum $40,000. Most people ain't even service. But most people got college loan, cost of living. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these countries will fail because of the economy. All that tourist, that fluid older white people, they go to their country honestly. All that dump.
Well, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen.
Fine, let's name some names. Hermes, is that name America? Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, is that name? Oh, this is what that shit. That's what the fine linens. Alright? The Dolce & Gabbana. That's not made in America. That be made in Italy to me. Or whatever other European. Well, it's really made in China. But we gonna talk about it.
And purple and silk and scarlet,
The most expensive fabric.
and all thy line. The line wood
You want certain wood. You can't get that in America.
all thy line wood, all manner of vessels of iron, of ivory, and all the manner of vessels of most precious wood, and the brass, and iron, and marble.
Yeah, I believe one of the biggest exporters of stainless steel and iron is Russia. I believe it's Russia. You know what I mean? So a lot of the goods that they need for infrastructure comes from out of the country. A lot of the marble countertops, they need that. We need to export it. Hell, China exports a lot of wood to this country. That's why the houses be so expensive. So Americans don't make shit.
And cinnamon,
They cinnamon. They eat cinnamon. Border like with East India. Right? Or you go to the Caribbean islands, they got a lot of spice islands. They got a lot of like cinnamon, turmeric, a lot of spices. Okay, that's imported to America. Americans don't have a farm where they're growing turmeric, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, black pepper, salt. Americans are not known to manufacture.
and odors,
Odors. You know, brothers like to wear that fragrances when they're orders. She don't be produced in America.
and ornaments ornaments,
That gives a little longer. Make me all the incense that you do, I made
and ornaments, and frankincense, and wine.
and wine. Talk about wine. Boy, the best wine is coming out of France. Mexico.
And oil and ornaments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and brass
Type in the percentage of the food that's made in everything. So type that in, the percentage of food that's made real quick. Percentage of food made in America. Read the food.
right, and fine flour and wheat and brass, and beef and sheep and horses. Chariots and slaves and the souls of men.
That's why all legal immigrants come in and they was with the but it more or less specified, the more or less specified, the more or less specified, the more or less specified.
How can you do that? I'm the one that sold. Yo, you
So they ain't gonna be jobbing
I
with
come
kids
in,
and carrying
like,
those kids and carrying the rest of the world. They gonna be no more. All that common.
One more scripture.
verse 14. And the fruits that thy soul lust after, and departed from thee. And all the things which were the dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all.
All that is done with it. It's over. Give it to the king. So that will give it to the
Shabbat shalom.